Hi there, welcome back. Let's go through another question on average. Now, this is a question that a lot of students stumble upon. So I would like you to give this question a try first. Okay, first of all, let's read the question first. The average test score of a class was 60 marks. After 4 students who scored an average of 78 marks left the class, the average score of the remaining students became 58 marks. And the question asks, how many students were there in the class at first? Alright, as I mentioned earlier on, a lot of my students get stuck in these type of questions. And I also found that this question is actually a very hot question in school exams. So before I go through the solutions, I would like you to pause the video now and give this question a try. Okay, welcome back. I hope that you have put some thoughts into it and you managed to get the final answer. And now let's go through the answers and see whether you are correct. Okay, so we know that at first, the average of everybody is 60. And we know the average means everyone are the same. Alright, so these are the students at first. Okay, and now 4 students with an average of 78 marks left the class. Right, so these are the 4 students who left. And after they left the class, the average score of the remaining students. Right, the remaining students will be the students on the left. Alright, the students on the left, the average score all became 58 marks. Okay, and based on this model, are you able to tell me how many students are there in the class? Alright, and the number of students will be equals to the number of units in this row of models. Okay, so in order to solve for the number of units, you first have to identify that the difference on the left, okay, which is over here, is equals to the total difference on the right. And do you know the reason why? The reason is because the total marks in this row is the same as the total marks in this row. Right, the total marks doesn't change. Alright, so therefore the total difference on here has to be equal to the total difference over here. Okay, and now let's find the total difference on the right. Since each student, the difference is 18, right, because 78 minus 60, you get 18. So in 4 students, the total difference will be 18 times 4, you get 72. So far so good. Alright, so 72 is the total difference on the right. And we know that the difference on the right is equal to the difference on the left. Now look at the left hand side. Can you tell me the difference in every child? The difference in every student is 2 marks. Correct? So now can you tell me, how many 2's do you need to get 72? The answer is basically just 72 divided by 2, you get 36 students. Right, so this is basically applying the gain and difference concept. Okay, which is when you take the big difference divided by the small difference, you get a number of students. Okay, but however, this is not the answer, right? Because the question asks for the students at first, so you're going to take 36 plus the 4 students who left, and the answer should be 40 students. Okay, and before we stop here, let me go through a simple way of how to check your answers in the exams. Okay, to double check the answers, you can simply use this answer to work backwards. Right. Let's say there are 40 students in the class. The total marks for these 40 students will be 40 times 60 equals to 2,400. Okay, and now 4 students left the class. So the total marks for these 4 students is 78 times 4, which is 312. Okay, and now you minus away to find the marks for the remaining students. Okay, which is 2,088. And now you take this 2,088 divide by the remaining students, right, which is 40 minus 4, you get 36. And when you divide, you should get 58, which is exactly the same as the question. Can you see? So therefore you have a bingo. Right, bingo means you know that your answer is definitely correct.